It's day 3 of the month of July in the year 2025. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning News. This is the first bulletin of the day on TV3. This bulletin is coming to you live from the news app here at the Zimbabwe Ghana. My name is Josh Quinn. Top of the stories is are. Residents of Ablekuma North expressed readiness for the July 11 rerun of elections in 19 polling stations in the constituency. Meanwhile, pollster Musa Dankwa says the NPP may struggle to retain the seat. India Prime Minister to address Parliament later today as part of his 2-day state visit to Ghana. Also coming up this morning, implementation of 24-hour economy to cost government approximately $4 billion. We have details of these stories and many more coming up in the next 20 minutes if you spend your time with me. You can also get interactive with us. We are live on Facebook. It's TV3 Ghana. Let's begin from the Electoral Commission as the body has announced a rerun of elections to be done in 19 polling stations out of 37 in the Ablekuma North constituency. The election will be held on Friday, July 11. Here's a News Desk report.
The Electoral Commission's decision to rerun parliamentary elections at 19 polling stations in the Ablekuma North constituency on July 11 is seen as a compromise to resolve months of electoral uncertainty and tension. This follows a series of legal and political contentions surrounding the 2024 parliamentary results, which left the constituency without a representative in the 9th parliament. A visit to the constituency revealed a generally calm atmosphere, with many residents appearing indifferent to the upcoming vote. Despite the political stakes, there was little visible public activity in anticipation of the rerun. Meanwhile, the National Democratic Congress (NDC) is regrouping. Constituency executives are currently locked in a strategic meeting aimed at devising a winning plan to overturn what has traditionally been a New Patriotic Party stronghold.
The margin that I'm telling you that we people, the margin is huge. Now they are dragging with small margin. That tells you that there is no stronghold in Ablekuma North now. And I'm saying it again. From this time, we are going to win this seat.
According to one of the party's leading figures in the constituency, the NDC's campaign to clinch the seat for the parliamentary candidate, Erabna Orban, is already underway and gaining momentum. Other NDC supporters have called for unity within the party to resolve lingering disagreements among constituency executives ahead of the polls.
NDC, the party know, the people believe for NDC party is not a small thing because this time everybody puts for a man for the NDC. But I'm so if God permit this seat no. NDC, think I'm ready.
The current vacuum in representation has heightened the urgency of the rerun. Ablekuma North remains without a member of parliament 7 months into the current parliamentary session, raising concerns among constituents about the absence of legislative advocacy on their behalf. The NPP's Ekwe Afriye, who previously held the seat, remains resolute in her bid to retain it. Her camp believes that the constituency's voting pattern favors continuity, and the rerun will only reaffirm their electoral advantage. The July 11 rerun in Ablekuma North is more than a procedural electoral exercise. It is a litmus test for democratic accountability and political legitimacy in Ghana's electoral landscape. For voters, it presents an opportunity to restore their voice in parliament. For political parties, especially the NDC and NPP, it is a final battleground to assert dominance in a constituency that has become symbolic of Ghana's contested democratic processes. As campaigns intensify and the nation watches, the hope is that the rerun will be peaceful and reflective of the true will of the people. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Ablekuma North.
Well, let's get some reaction to this very development. Executive Director of Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa, says, although the Ablekuma North constituency has been a safe seat for the NPP, fallout from the 2024 elections could make it difficult for them to retain it. Take a listen.
Which flipped. Now, having gone through these processes, I don't know the reasons behind EC saying that they're going to run in those 19 or so constituencies, because I think I heard that the results there were declared using scanned copies of the pink sheet. Now, who is going to win? Look, it's going to be very difficult for MPP to galvanize their people to go out there and vote on the 11th. That will be the first hurdle they have to come across. If they are able to galvanize their people to go out and vote, then we may have a competition.
Okay.
If that doesn't happen, I expect that NDC guys will be more motivated to go out there and vote. Not because the winning the seat will make any difference to their numbers, but I think both parties may want to make a statement. For NDC, they could say that, look, we have performed so well that people in your own stronghold are giving us more mandate. If they lose it, it could be a very good opportunity for MPP to say that we are trying to rebuild, and the rebuilding and rebranding of the party is beginning from Ablik-Manoff. So I can see both parties fighting strongly for it.
And July 11 is the day set for the rerun of the Ablik-Manoff elections. Trust your authoritative media house TV3 to follow up extensively and bring you updates in our subsequent bulletins. And now the Minister for Defense says, although the Ghana Armed Forces is on red alert to pick early warning signs to keep Ghana safe and sound, there's still potential threat of terrorism and violent extremism due to Ghana's closeness to the Sahel region. Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah lauded the immense role of personnel in ensuring law and order in the country. He made the remarks when the Parliamentary Select Committee on Defense and Interior paid a familiarization tour to the Defense Ministry to acquaint themselves with happenings and challenges bedeviling the service.
I wish to state that we are not in danger zone as we speak. We are not in the red. So feel free, be comfortable as events unfold. The Military High Command here is not going to be invited on an emergency to respond to any imminent threats. However, let me proceed to say that if we are to look at it from the domestic, regional, and global front, we still have issues of potential terrorism and violent extremism because we are close to the Sahel region and we all know what is happening within. And so we are always on red alert, picking early warning signs and ensuring that we keep our country safe and sound. And I must commend the Ghana Armed Forces and the sister security institutions for the good job that they are doing and they have done over the years.
Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah is the Minister for Defense. If you're just tuning in watching the morning news, the first bulletin of the day right here on TV3. In more news this morning, government has launched the 24-hour economy program with the aim of transforming the country's economic landscape. This ambitious initiative is projected to cost $4 billion, with the government committing $300 to $400 million as seed funding.
Built on 8 key components, the 24-hour economy program aims to increase productivity and economic growth by promoting round-the-clock operations in key sectors of the economy, creating 1.7 million jobs within 4 years. According to President John Dramani Mahama, the program will encourage local production and reduce dependence on imports, promoting economic self-efficiency.
We export raw materials and we import refined finished products. We ship cocoa, gold, timber, and oil abroad, only to repurchase them as chocolates, jewelry, furniture, and fuel at a far greater cost. This model does not serve our people. It has never served our people. It generates foreign jobs, it fuels foreign economies, and funds foreign healthcare and education systems. While our youth remain unemployed, our industry stagnates and our imports balloon.
Special advisor on the 24-hour economy initiative, Gusitano, has revealed that the program is nearing completion on an SME funding scheme with the Bank of Ghana and other financial institutions.
We are conducting feasibility studies on commercial projects, aiming to have priority projects investment ready by year's end. Indeed, we have learned that some priority projects already have bankable feasibility studies that only need updating. With the guidance from the Bank of Ghana, in collaboration with Development Bank of Ghana, Venture Capital Trust Fund, and Ghana Exim Bank, we must finalize, and in the process of finalizing, our SME on-lending platform and our value chain lending scheme, so that funds can flow to the 24-hour economic projects and the qualified entrepreneurs who run these projects.
Let's know what you make of this newly launched policy. Is it going to make entrepreneurs competitive? Is it going to create more jobs? We are active on Facebook as TV3 Ghana. Engage us with your comments, observations, and opinions, and we'll surely read them and share them to the rest of the world. And now, Ghana and India have both signed a memorandum of understanding for joint cooperation in the areas of vaccine production, defense and cybersecurity, as well as agriculture. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is on a 2-day state visit to Ghana, has praised the efforts of President John Dramani Mahama at resetting Ghana and championing African democracy. The Prime Minister will later on be given the highest state award of the land.
Welcome to your house. Yes. This visit is a significant honor, considering the fact that it is the first leg in the Africa visit of His Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his 5-nation tour, which ends in the BRICS summits in Brazil. The two sides have engaged in significant discussions to deepen cooperation across various sectors of our economy, including agriculture, energy, manufacturing, infrastructural development, human resources, and health, amongst others. On the strength of the successful engagements, we have had a number of memoranda of understanding have been signed between Ghana and India to give impetus to our commitment and aspirations for sustained and enhanced cooperation. And these include the Memorandum of Understanding on the establishment of a permanent joint commission between our two countries. Going forward, Ghana and India intend to pursue these engagements through diplomatic mechanisms, including Foreign Office consultations with each other, as well as the Permanent Joint Commission for Cooperation, to give effect to the intended outcomes of our engagement for mutual benefit.
India assures full support and cooperation in President Mahama's efforts to reset the economy. Today, we have taken a decision to double the ITEC and ICCR scholarships for Ghana. Work will be done to establish a skill development center to impart vocational education to the youth. In the area of agriculture, we will be happy to support President Mahama's Feed Ghana program.
India proposes setting up Jan Aushadhi centers to provide citizens of Ghana with affordable health care and reliable care. We discussed cooperation in vaccine production. In the area of defense and security, we will move forward following the mantra security through solidarity. We will increase our cooperation in areas such as the training of armed forces, maritime security, defense supplies, and cybersecurity. Away
from Ghana-Indian cooperation, some members of the Zimbabwean parliament in Ghana on a working visit to explore how the country is leveraging education to drive innovation and development. Their key engagement included a meeting with Ghana's Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, to focus on equipping the youth and rolling out policies to explore Africa's natural resources.
The Zimbabwe delegation is in Ghana to study best practices in the education sector, with a particular focus on how the country has successfully established innovation and industrial parks to bridge the gap between academia and industry. During a meeting with the Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, discussions centered on how Ghana's model could be replicated in Zimbabwe to promote skills development and entrepreneurship. The minister assured the delegation of government's continued commitment to supporting innovation and higher education. He revealed that adequate funding has been earmarked to drive initiatives aimed at preparing young people for the job market.
Our policy underpinnings now is how do we emphasize foundational learning, and that you can only achieve through basic education. And we now get into technical vocational education, and we think that is the answer to solving the employability question and getting persons employed.
Leader of the Zimbabwean team, Dr. Chokozina Kope, expressed concern about the current state of education across Africa. She noted that while the continent is rich in resources, its education systems often fail to equip the youth with the skills needed for today's workforce.
Africa, we must unite. We must unite. We must start trading amongst ourselves. We have got the population. We've got hard-working people. We've got an educated workforce. Let us start trading amongst ourselves. Once we do that, we are going to be a giant in the whole world. We want to also compete in the world stage, just like the Americans, the Europeans, the Asians, everybody else. We want to be like that as Africa.
The delegation's visit forms part of broader effort to reform Zimbabwe's education system by learning from successful African models, as both nations look to youth development as a catalyst for future growth.
Well, in more news this morning, the acting Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni has called on lawyers to embrace reforms in the electronic justice system to enable them adapt to the growing demand of technology. Justice Iya Jacobo, delivering the speech on behalf of the acting Chief Justice at the Greater Accra Bar Conference, also indicated that there was a need for lawyers to be entrepreneurial to develop client-based solutions.
In his first directive as the acting Chief Justice, Paul Bafo-Boni ordered court registrars to submit all newly filed cases and applications in the superior courts to be submitted to his office for assignment and scheduling. The order was widely condemned by the Ghana Bar Association, who stressed the need for the judiciary to migrate to the use of technology to speed up court processes. In his address read on his behalf by Justice Jacobo, acting Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni announced that upgrades had been made to the e-justice system for the judiciary, calling on all lawyers to embrace them.
Electronic case tracking and virtual hearings. These efforts are intended not only to improve administrative efficiency, but also to enhance transparency, reduce delays, and ultimately improve access to justice for all. However, technology can only be as effective as the people who use it. We rely on the legal community, the bar, to fully engage and support these reforms.
National President of the Ghana Bar Association, Ifwa Gati, admonished lawyers to give back to society by engaging in community service.
The bar would also want to make its speech when we go to war. We want to sink a borehole, a mechanized one, so that whenever people travel that far, they'll remember that the bar came to war. It is important that we give back to society. That makes you feel that God has blessed you with where you are, and you are also in a position to bless others.
President of the Greater Accra Bar Association, Isabel Boateng, also urged members of the legal fraternity to equip themselves with skill sets that will make them relevant for the future.
Being a future-fit lawyer will equip you to navigate this new world and give you a pass to what it means to be a visionary. Being visionary means you are able to posit yourself 5, 10, 20 years down the line and see how you can strategize and leverage the trends and the tools that exist or that are creeping in or coming at top speed at you now, not later. Today's sessions and conversations are intended to shape your mind to think forward. What will outpace you, what you will outrun, and how you can prepare no matter the twists and turns in the journey.
The Greater Accra Regional Bar Law Week was themed The Future Fit Lawyer, Embracing Technology, Entrepreneurship, Excellence and Service to the Community.
On that legal note, we end the morning news. Just so you know, the rerun of the Ablekuma North parliamentary elections is slated for July 11. Trust your authoritative media house TV3 to follow up and update you subsequently. Thanks for watching. It's always a pleasure coming your way. Enjoy morning.